See, originally this video was a very loud and vocal reaction to one side. The side that to me has done nothing but be rude, gatekeep the fandom, and threw out generalizations of the opposite side. But honestly, there are issues for both sides of this argument. And I'm just tired. Tired of the infighting, and sad for all the new Star Wars fans coming into this fandom like... I wrote so much in the previous script that I feel it's a bit of a waste to not at least mention some of these points. First of all, gatekeeping in the Star Wars fanbase has always been disgusting, and now we have this surge of fans that either hate or love The Last Jedi. And if you're on one side, the other doesn't consider you a true Star Wars fan. It's nothing new, especially for those who grew up with the prequels, and of course you had this to a lesser degree with The Force Awakens. But for those very vocal individuals, here are their weapons of choice. The countless Mark Hamill interviews and Rotten Tomatoes scores. First, I love that the Mark Hamill interviews are trending, but no one talks about his positive tweet to Rian Johnson about what a great job he did and how he listened to his terrible ideas. But hey, I'm sure he's just paid off to keep his mouth shut, right? Ha, he can't form an opinion of his own. He's part of the mouse now. But that didn't stop him when the interviews were rolling. Mark Hamill may have disagreed with the direction of the character initially, but he has shown to be happy with the execution. It's just that doesn't really get views, does it? Then I had this spiel about how Rotten Tomato scores are being put too much focus on just to prove one side is right, and honestly, if you do this, just chill. The fact that you need a score to validate the way you feel, as if saying, look, other people agree with me, is pathetic. Other audience scores do not reflect the same thing Rotten Tomato audiences scores do. Some may, but certainly not all of them. Audience scores will never be perfect, and using it as an argument to show the other side is wrong is childish and demeaning. What I'm about to say isn't for those with legitimate issues with the film, but for those who feel the need to gatekeep and want to ruin Star Wars for everyone else. Yeah, this is for you. In the end, I feel a lot of people were disappointed because of all the theory crafting and expectations that went on after Episode 7. You create an entire film in your mind, or were so set on having one thing or another ready to be answered that when the decision was made to throw it all out, it all came falling apart for you. Does this film still have problems? I say yes, absolutely. Most films do. I do not see this as a perfect film, much less a perfect Star Wars film. But to all those who say they quit the franchise because of Disney, I sympathize. For those who feel Star Wars is no longer for them, I do not feel that way, but I sympathize. In your anger, however, in your sadness, do not ruin it for others. Because if you do, I think perhaps you'd be going against everything that Star Wars stood for and taught, and everything you once felt when your joy for Star Wars was the most pure. And to clarify, I have nothing against film discussions. Hell, I love having these discussions, but when 9 times out of 10 it turns into a debate where all that is being shown is rudeness, gatekeeping, and generalizations of the opposing sides, just what is accomplished? Do you see yourself as the warrior that will save Star Wars? Will a petition help you settle down? What about a rude comment to a director on his birthday? Or maybe all the critics were paid off? What about telling them they just don't get the film? Both sides, both problems. Now look, I'm getting petty. Every time a hardcore fan goes on a rant online, I always fear there's a chance a little kid will find the post. A little kid who loves Rey, Finn, and Poe, and see that other fans trash on their likes because what? They aren't doing Star Wars right? I'm gonna say something else that even people that agree with most of my thoughts probably don't agree with. These films aren't for us. And I know some watching this are gonna say, hey, wait, I like the film. This is obviously for me, man. No. These films are for them. The new generation, the new fans, kids. George Lucas once said he made these films for 12-year-olds. Most people disregard it because, of course, it's George Lucas saying it. Creator of the prequels, the worst things to happen since ever, right? no, what he's saying is true. And I think the big backlash against that thought, for one, really demeans kids and what they are able to comprehend. And for two, in direct result of that, demeans yourself, who probably got into Star Wars when, guess what? You were a kid. But there's nothing saying you can't enjoy the ride as an adult. I sure as hell am. So many sure as hell are enjoying the ride. And if you don't like it, then get off. But just remember whose party this is for. Don't be an asshole at a kid's birthday party and insist that this is your party. Some may think this is for us because of all the callbacks, but it's clear now more than ever that this is a Star Wars story, this sequel trilogy, that looks ahead and is willing to move on from what is old, so long as it has a purpose to do so. Love Star Wars. This is entertainment. It can mean a lot to you, but never forget how much it means to others as well. And now I leave you with a little rant I very much enjoyed from Kristian Harloff, host of one of my favorite Star Wars podcasts.
And you're entitled to that.
Yeah.
The thing is, what I'm saying is that no one should tell you and look at you and say, wait a minute, you weren't underwhelmed. You need to see it again, and then you won't be underwhelmed.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. Like, for me, like, I'm telling you, you fucks, that when I go to see the movie the first time,
don't call them fucks,
no, for the ones who tell me that you didn't really like it, you were forcing yourself to like it. No, ass face. I looked at the movie when I watched it a second time, and I resaw it a different way, and I liked it. You might not have felt that way. You might have felt exactly different. You might have said, I fucking hated this movie the first time, and I hated it even more the second time. And good on you for doing it. The point is that every single person in this room, behind that camera, leave each other the fuck alone when they want to have opportunities and opinions on what they want to think. You can think whatever the fuck you want to think. Leave people alone. And it is not fucking wrong to be passionate about Star Wars. It's not fucking wrong to be passionate about any movie that you like. Going to Comic-Cons, going to Celebration, and you think it is, and you think, oh, well, you're too old to be doing it. Fuck you. Fuck you in the face. Because you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want and be passionate about it. Fuck you for making fun of people for being passionate about their shit. Go suck on a fucking toad fart.
Oh! And you did. All right.
Basically, the video is over. You don't have to keep listening if you don't want to, but for the over 800 subscribers I've amassed over the past 2 years, thank you. I'm sorry I don't post on here as much. The truth of the matter is I haven't been well health-wise, and the past few months have really been difficult for me. But things are getting better. Whenever something big happens in the fandom, it motivates me to create. So seeing The Last Jedi, and more importantly, seeing the reaction and split to The Last Jedi, is motivating me the most. Needless to say, I love the film, and I've already written a few videos worth on the film. And that's not counting some videos I've already written on subjects like Grey Jedi that I just haven't yet produced. I make no promises as to when these videos will be out, but just know I'll never truly be gone. When there's an imbalance in the fanbase, I'll be there to give my 2 cents. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.